The thing I always go back to on that fucking gun and gun safety in the house is like I have you guys ever watched that you guys ever watched the one of the Kevin Hart live section where he was talking about where all the places he would hide a gun um in his house? Yeah, right. Think about all the scenarios that he had to go to. I mean, probably at that point, he probably had like 11 guns in his house, right? If he was putting them everywhere he was talking about in that bit, right? To go through every single scenario that would possibly happen where an intruder comes in. The only time, realistically, right, if you have a gun in your house, you're probably going to keep it somewhere in your room, but you're going to keep it hidden enough that somebody walks into your room, they won't be able to find it because you got to make sure that your kids can't get to it. Because your kids have too much easy access, then they'll just kill themselves with it or shoot one of their friends or whatever, right, when they're kids, right? So you have to hide it in a well enough place to where they can't get to it easily, which means that you can't get to it easily as they continue to get older. And so, like, if you're waking up in the middle of the night, eyes groggy, you don't know where something is, it's it's just a lot of logistical things within that. But I mean, there's a lot of thoughts in between that. Yeah. But what I was talking about when you were gone, Christian, how much do you know about healthcare, health insurance specifically? Okay. So I was giving them the rundown on it. Yeah. So that's what I'm going over, right? Like in the United States, you only have healthcare one if you have a job, your parents have a job, and you're on their insurance, right? And that healthcare only, the healthcare is still paid for by the person who has the healthcare. They have to pay a premium and a copay depending on depending on how many people they have on their insurance plan, and depending on what the plan is, right? So you can have an 80/20 plan where once you go past a certain price threshold, then your company pays for 80% of all the rest of the bills and you pay for 20, but you have to pass like a huge threshold, like $10,000 or something like that, until they start paying for something. But there's a lot of different ways that it's set up. But mainly, the main thing is in America, healthcare is not free at all, unless you have a really great employer. That's how bad the healthcare system is in America. People literally don't go. Yeah, if you didn't have insurance, the hospital is already expensive. With insurance, but this also includes you going to the dentist, you going to your yearly checkups, you doing your physicals, if you and when you get older, you have to find out if you have high blood pressure before you can get high blood pressure bills. So then you have to go through that, right? So you still have to pay to go to the doctor to find out you have a high blood pressure. Then you have to pay to continue to go to the doctor when you have high blood pressure, and get pills and all those other types of things that go behind it. It goes into the pharmaceuticals and everything else behind it, right? That's how it is in the U.S. In other countries of the U.S. similar size, Britain, Canada, Scandinavia, right? Other democratic countries and stuff like that. Canada is a W place. It's a very W place. It's a very W place. All, all of these other countries that are, that America is supposed to be as progressive as, and all these other things, right? They all have universal health care. So it doesn't matter if you have a job, if you don't have a job, who you are, if your parents work or whatever, you have health care. Yeah, as long as you can go to the doctor, you can go to the hospital, you don't have to worry about a hospital or insurance bill. You have health care. How do you how do you feel about the U.S.'s healthcare system as it is now versus other countries' healthcare systems? Um, would you change it? What would you change about it, or what would be your concerns about changing it or not changing it? Hmm. Yeah, it's a good question. It's one thing is that I mean, I think you can tell this by living here is that um, America is that stubborn. Is that stubborn uncle that you talk to about football that doesn't want to change their opinion on anything? It's very much so stuck in its way, and that's both sides of the aisle, really, right? Because I mean, like in you, I think everybody sees this in politics. A lot of shit just stagnates because a lot of shit just doesn't happen. You just have two people going against each other. One side isn't winning or outbudging the other side because that's not how politics works. It's like a discourse. It's a conversation. It's not about your idea is just immensely better than my idea. It's that like things balance off of each other type deal. And so America is so polarized in that people just have such differing opinions. A lot of thing is like someone would think, okay, so to run a universal healthcare system, right? A universal healthcare system is would have to be run through the government, right? And a lot of people come and say one their first ideal of America is like, well, my whole freedom is I don't I'm my own free person. I don't have to worry about what the government is doing. The government doesn't have any control over me. Yada 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 yada. Why do I want them having more power to this and that and da 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 etc. and stuff like that, right? They think that the more power that you give the government, the more power they have over you, and the more power they have over you, the easier it is for them to control you. Type deal, type beat, right? That's what a lot of people get stuck on too. Um, I mean, and it's I guess it's a valid concern for someone whoever has that concern. Um, it's a that's more of like a it's more of a Republican view of the more power that you give the government, the more control they have over you, and the closer we get to communism, quote unquote, which is what everybody is which is what everybody in America is scared of when you go back to Reagan and World War II and all those other things because people really don't understand what communism is, but um, that's why it's never really been in place here in America. Um, it's I mean it wasn't in place in a lot of places until like the early 2000s because a lot of people started realizing that they wanted to give health care to all the people instead of having to worry about other people getting their own health care. I got my fan on. Come on. Huh? All right. Oh, I just thought watching Mario was talking to his mom, talking to Miss Trace. Damn, damn. Tristan? Jamar? Okay, but so both of you or like so how do you Jamar, you said both of you guys said you feel so you believe you think that there should be universal health insurance. I said so both of you guys believe that there should be universal health insurance. Okay, right. And so that oh my god. Damn. Okay, you're still okay with people having to pay still you're okay with people still having to pay for health insurance. You just think that everyone should have health insurance. Okay, so you don't believe in universal health. You don't believe in universal health insurance because universal health insurance is that no one should have to pay for any type of medical bills. So in the case of universal health insurance, the idea that everyone should that no one should have to pay for any type of medical expenses. That comes with the caveat of that's why I said this one is a social and a monetary thought process because this comes with the idea that it would just be another tax for everyone to not have to worry about paying for any type of medical insurance, right? So how this system works in Scandinavia, right? In Sweden. How this works in Sweden, Iceland, and every country in Scandinavia is everyone has healthcare. No one has to pay for any type of healthcare, right? Just flat. That's just what it is, right? Because what Scandinavia is what is known as a democrat socialism type of government, right? So they believe that the basic necessities that someone should have, they should always have access to them, and that should be monitored through the government. Your basic necessities shouldn't be coming from private companies that can tax and shouldn't be coming from private companies that can decide how much money you pay to get water to your family, how much money you pay to get sorry how much money you pay to have good internet, or how much money you pay to save your child's life. Right? They don't think that there should be a price on that. They think that they should be paid through the government. And so healthcare is one of those things that's just paid through the government. It's paid through taxes. Everyone pays taxes. Everyone has free healthcare. No one has to worry about paying anything when you go to your normal doctor's visit, when you go to the hospital, etc., anything like that, right? But they still have a private side of the economy in the fact that since all their healthcare is free, right? Your normal appointments and stuff like that are set up on like a sort of like waiting list type of schedule, right? So when you schedule an appointment for something, you're in a list to go to your normal pediatrician or whatever, right? If you have health insurance from a company, all that health insurance gives you is other incentives, like maybe if you had to schedule a late appointment that wasn't a normal annual checkup, you get to skip ahead of the line or something like that, right? But everyone has the exact same access to the free healthcare. No one is paying for healthcare at all in this scenario one bit. That's how universal health care has been run in other countries. Because if you're giving someone, if you're saying everyone should have a basic insurance plan but should still pay money, right? That still comes to, okay, what are the insurance plans that we already have in America? Oh, well, I could give someone an insurance plan where, okay, I'll pay for all your health insurance costs once you spent $10,000, then I'll pay for 80% of the rest that comes after that. That's an actual health insurance plan. That's the health insurance plan that's on my health card. That's on my health insurance card for my dad's job. It's an 80/20 plan. Once you pay 5,000 out of pocket costs, that's you've paid this much money to go to the doctor or the dentist or whatever. Once you've paid that amount of money, then the rest they will cover 80% of that. So I could pay 10,000, then say my hospital bills are 50,000 because health costs and everything like that cost a fuck ton in America. So because doctors make a ridiculous amount of salary and stuff like that, right? So say my entire trip to the hospital was $50,000. That's not a crazy hospital bill. That's a pretty, like, if you were in the hospital for a couple of days, your health insurance bill will probably be that. You paid the first 10,000, right? Then that 40,000, your health insurance provider pays 80 of that. You used to have to pay 20% of that 40,000. So now you have to pay 10,000 plus whatever 20% of that $40,000 was. If we're just giving a homeless person that plan, or the same low income person that exact same plan, that's not really helping them at all. That's just giving them, they're still having to pay for your healthcare costs. There's still a price on you getting medical assistance. There's still a price. So it doesn't really go with the idea of universal health care, if that makes any sense. Sure, Chris? So, with that being said, how do you feel about it? Okay, Tremar. I guess Tremar is gone. So that view on that is that's a that's more of a Democrat socialist view. It's past centrist Democrat. It's definitely a lot more far like progressive. The idea that because so centrist being a centrist on either side is basically saying being a centrist is more like the idea of it ain't fixed, don't break it type. I mean, it ain't broke, don't fix it type deal, right? That's what the idea of a centrist is. It's sort of like, okay, let's just sort of like keep everything flowing how it is right now. Everything is sort of okay. Might need to make a little bit of hot fixes here and there, but that's just sort of how it is, right? Just sort of work with that. Then if you go further on one side or another, you get closer to different outreaches. Like you have progressive Democrats, or you have progressive, or more like regressive Republicans, and all different types, all different levels in between that system. And so like it's a combination of how you feel personally about different money topics, different social topics, is what influences or what mostly predicts who you end up voting for on a federal level or a state level. And it just happens to coincide with the fact, because if you believe in a lot of social reform costs money to come from somewhere, right? And social reform comes from taxes, and so that's one of the biggest things that Republicans dislike are taxes, right? So Republicans push for a lot of social reform and want taxes to pay for it, and Republicans are like, yeah, no, we don't want you to take our money type deal, right? And that's the biggest, that's one of the more profound battles between like Democrats and Republicans. It's like, I'm a Democrat. I want everyone to have access to equitable education or some shit like that. Well, that costs money. Who's gonna pay for it? And it's like, oh, taxes are gonna pay for it. And it's like, well, oh, you mean my money is gonna pay for da 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 da? And it keeps going back and forth on that sort of situation. So it's really more of a question on how what are your views are strong enough to really indicate what side you're on. Like me personally, right? I think Republicans and Democrats are both stupid. I am a um, I am a socialist. Um, but when it comes to voting, I am a Democrat socialist. So I vote Democrat. Um, we're at the end of the day, unless I would vote for a Democrat or an independent party, but most likely a Democrat because the U.S. is a two-party system. Why am I passing the ball? I'm winning. God, let me stop. Okay. Um, so, oh fuck. Hold on. Where's the ball? Where's the ball? Where's the ball? Where's the ball? Okay. Damn. Um, and so a lot of it just comes down to that main question right there. And there's a lot more nuance to it. It's not just a black and gray question, right? Because once you have the, oh, is it going to be my money, da 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 da, taxes type of deal, right? Then it goes to the idea that, okay, well, yeah, obviously someone has to pay for these systems, but the systems are used for everybody. And okay, so if we don't want the person who's making like $30,000 a year to be giving away half of his entire paycheck to pay for the systems because he still needs to pay for his own things, right? So oh, we just raise the taxes on people who make $2 million or more, right? But then the people who make $2 million or more are the really rich people, or sorry, those are not even considered really rich people. Really rich people are people who make like $10 million or more, right? So then we're like, oh, so why don't we just tax the really, really rich people way more? And then you get into the whole idea of like corruption in government because these really rich people can pay for lobbyists and other things like that to make sure that they don't get taxed more and other things like that. The political system is a very corrupt system. Excuse me. Oh. Are you trying to get? I wouldn't be mad at it. As long as your stuff like what, 5 miles in between each other or something, should be fine. Chris was a loved man. He had a bunch of friends. When Chris was tragically found on the side of 35. He was saw doing what he loved most, standing on his four-wheeler. Little did he know this would be the last time he ever stood. No comment. Wait a minute. Do some house. Baby girl. I gotta go, 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 I gotta go. What? Who knows? Bum bum. Betty bum bum. Betty bum bum. Betty bum bum. I don't care where I go as long as I get paid. Who? Excuse me. Who's that? Hmm. Oh, that's the. He's the one who makes those. He also does like them worker videos, right? Yeah, yeah, I know him. I know him. That fucking strong as a monkey. I tell you what. That's so wrong. Oh my god, that's so wrong. Ain't no way. What, Chris? You outside, right? You playing like pickle football or something, right? You sweating. You know what I'm saying? You see two middle-aged white people roll up on not in a car, on a golf cart, right? They roll up to you on a golf cart. Like they got like visors and everything on, right? One's chewing gum. He gets out of the car, spits out the gum. He says, "What's your name there, sir?" You say, Christopher Branch." He says, he says, they say, "I've been watching you out here play. Um, we are looking to scout you for the Negro African American League." Right, right. And before you can punch him, he says, "We are paying our players 300,000 a game, a game." Right? You hear that, right? You say, "Oh hell yeah!" You realize that when he said 300,000, he meant 300,000 corn cobs. Now you're locked in a cellar playing backyard nigger football. Oh, poor Christian man. You took one of the at-home tests? No, but I tried. What was it? It was like this was earlier. No, this was last week. This was like on Monday. Cause I got whatchamacallit, I got sick on Monday after I left from the gym. I'm pretty sure it was from being at cause Karen's brother had got COVID. And I was over there for Christmas. And so I tried to go find a test. I went to like 6 Walgreens, but I could not find a single at-home test. No, them hoes were sold out. bro, bro, Texas is different right now with COVID cases. Cause they're like parents are like begging Greg Abbott to like put mask mandate for schools and stuff like that, and niggas just not doing anything. Cause like all the cases are just skyrocketing. That's tough, man. Yeah. Y'all both just disappeared. Me and Chris were just here. Yeah. Shamar just sort of went silent. I didn't get no phone call. Yeah, like, come on, man. That's not cool. Shorts and a white t-shirt. You didn't answer it. I did because I want him to know what I'm. I mean, shorts and a t-shirt, man. Shorts and a white t-shirt. I woke up this morning happy. I didn't even have a blanket on. Guys? Guys? No, 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 no. My house has no insulation, nigga. Whatever it is outside, that's what it is in the house. Yeah. But when you get used to being in 90 degrees all the time, nigga, you want to freeze off. Bro, I love being cold. I literally hate the warmth. I'm not made for Texas. No, I'm not made for Texas, man. I'm not, man. I'm a big boy. I mean, it makes sense when you're so hot. I mean, warm. Mm. How you feel about global warming? When was your birthday? How warm was it on your birthday? It had to be 80. It was. It had to be 80. Cause we're talking about it being cold. We're talking about it being cold. Cold today. Nigga, 2 days ago it was like 81 degrees. It's not. The high is supposed to be 60 tomorrow. 65, something like that. Don't worry. Don't worry, man. By middle of the week, the high is supposed to be back up to 75. Don't tell me. And I said, Romeo, stay away somewhere in the Mm. You know what I'm surprised about? We were sitting in a smoked out hotel room, and I never felt hot once. Uh, Cause bro, I was like, we were in the smog, and it felt amazing. Mm. In night, running out of time. We gotta go, 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 we gotta go. In time, running out of time. How's life going, man? So how's life going, sexy? Hello. An accolade? You don't deserve it. You wanna know why? Because you're a bitch ass motherfucker. I said, you are a BITCHAAHMOTHERFUCKER a a a BITCHAAHMOTHERFUCKER a BITCHAAHMOTHERFUCKER INDEPENDENT